What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Ethereum Classic. I want to go over some of the current data points, what's been influencing the price as of late, and where I see things going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So I'm going to cap off this video with some technical analysis, but right now it is down 0.76%. So it is pulling back. Over the last several days, there has been a nice bump up in ETC, especially considering the broader market has been really rotating out of fixed income and a lot of safer equities into riskier assets, such as even cryptocurrency. The fear and greed index right now is 77, so the market's appetite for risk is definitely very high. And one way to really tell that as well is just looking at the stock Coinbase. And even in this recent video right here, they talk on if you want to invest in cryptocurrency, one way to do that is Coinbase, talking as though it's like a ETF of sorts, kind of backwards mentality if you ask me. But once again, I feel like this does kind of signal that bigger and better things are coming for cryptocurrency as more and more ETFs that are directed to specific coins come out. Obviously with Bitcoin, and in the near future, well, I wouldn't say near future, but probably 2024, Ethereum Classic itself. So I did actually find a good article, so I'm going to do a dedicated video on that in the foreseeable future. I just wanted to play one quick minute of this just to get obviously people's mentality of cryptocurrency and why it is somewhat flawed.
Right, let's jump right into our main story. If you're thinking of investing in cryptocurrencies, you have a choice. You could dive right into the $1.5 trillion crypto market directly by buying Bitcoin or Ether, for example. But there's another way to get exposure. You can invest in a publicly traded crypto-focused business. For some, investing in a stock is familiar territory. For others exploring the nascent industry, there could be added benefits of investing in the token itself. So I spoke with industry experts to find out the risks and rewards for each strategy. Both crypto tokens and related stocks are staging a comeback in 2023 after the worst of the crypto winter. As of December 20th, Bitcoin has more than doubled so far this year, rising around 160%. Ether climbed more than 80% in the same time, on pace for its best year since 2021. Meanwhile, crypto companies have rallied too. MicroStrategy has more than quadrupled this year, and crypto miners Riot and Marathon Digital have soared 385% and 546% respectively.
There's kind of the narrative, which is buy Bitcoin and chill, right? Just let the best performing asset of all time compound over a long period of time. It's a finite asset, more capital is going to flow in, the price will go up given enough time. On the other hand, there's people who say, look, I don't want just kind of the beta exposure to the market, right? I want to be able to have some sort of outperformance. And so they'll use leverage, they'll buy equities, they'll do all sorts of different things.
So yeah, ultimately, they kind of ramble on, but I think the increase in liquidity in cryptocurrency as a whole is coming. There was a kind of an ETF, it was called C20. I really like that. It had I guess essentially it was one of the very first unofficial ETFs for cryptocurrency. So it had a basket amount of items, and I really like that. In fact, I did a video on it and how it might be advantageous, but it was just ill ran and it go belly up. But still, I feel like there is an opportunity for that out there. Right now, ETC has been lagging the crypto market, which is very unfortunate. Over the last 5 days, it is up 6.02%. So in comparison to a lot of the other cryptos, it's been lagging. And you can kind of even tell that based on this. So ETC right now, based on market cap, is number 32. So it has been dropping. You can even tell over the last 7 days, a lot of coins have gone up about 65%, 18%, whereas ETC, like I mentioned, is just lagging. So not necessarily the best performing one, but similar to what they mentioned in that video, you have to, I guess, buy and chill, if that makes sense, because ETC and just cryptocurrency in general will take time to kind of be ingrained in the broader market. And I have frequently brought this up though, because I always like to kind of monitor it. The number of merchants accepting ETC as a form of payment is currently $1,231. So 2 up this month alone. Looking at some of the charts though, this is a nice chart. So this does show the growth, and it does show more and more entities accepting it as a form of payment. So I wanted to go over some of the technicals and who's been selling and whatever else. So this is the ETC liquidation chart. So it does show, like I mentioned, who's been selling. It's kind of interesting. In the past, whenever ETC has ran up, you typically see it correlated where shorts closing out the positions, because ETC has been very heavily shorted and still continues to do so. So even every time like there's a pop-up right here, like you see shorts closing out. So shorts kind of kick it off. Whereas what recently happened over this, ever since December the 18th, there was nothing. So the volume has still been relatively low. Currently, the volume right now is around $3.67 million. And even if we zoom out over the last about 6 months, you see an immense amount of volume starting to look at ETC. A, because it's still heavily shorted, and B, it could be perceived as being at a pretty substantial discount as well. So I think that ETC is getting a good rush of liquidity coming in, both from value investors and long-term investors. Just right now, big money clearly has not really been getting into ETC as much as I think a lot of people would have really liked. So once again, let me know your thoughts on that. But overall, over the last little bit, I guess from December the 23rd, there's been around 33,000 in shorts closing out the positions, 19 or almost 20,000 in longs. Day prior, a lot of longs were closing out the positions, so 292,000 versus 37,000 in shorts. So especially with this upcoming week, there being a shorter week, Christmas is on Monday, so Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays for those of you that do celebrate. But this upcoming week, even on data point wise, it's going to be very quiet. Companies are not unveiling their earnings. So I feel like this upcoming week is going to be very volatile for cryptocurrency. And like I mentioned, with the fear and greed index right now currently at 77, that does allude to potentially a lot more liquidity coming in the short term to give a lot of cryptocurrencies a nice bump up, maybe even ETC. So going over some of the data points and technicals and whatever else. So right here, I do have the 7, 25, and a 100-day moving averages, Bollinger Band, stochastic RSI, and momentum. So on the 1-day chart, or actually I'll move to the 1-day quickly, but on the 1-day chart, it does show momentum going down. So a number of retail investors have been getting out ever since it hit that peak around $23.42. Right now on stochastic RSI, you do see a lot of bullishness. So the purple line above the teal. So definitely behind the scenes, it does want to go up. I think today exactly it is in consolidation mode. It is higher percentile of the Bollinger Band as well, and above a lot of the key pivotal moving averages. So in general, looking at the 1-day, it does have a lot of room to go up, and potentially even to, in the short term, around 20 to 50-ish. But looking at the 4-hour, for instance, because like I've mentioned, you'll have to look at different viewpoints, because the 4-hour feeds into the 1 and the 1 hour leads into the 4-hour. So looking at the 4-hour right now, it is struggling to get over that 7-day moving average. So it kind of bounced off of that over the last 8 hours. So right now it is, like I mentioned, in consolidation mode. Stochastic RSI is resetting itself. So that'll be a good opportunity in the next 4 to 8 hours for it to retest that 7-day moving average. And if it can get above that, then this is where you can see potentially around 2250 in the short term. And again, that's not even counting a lot of boost in liquidity over the next upcoming week. Momentum shows number of retail investors have been similarly getting out on that chart. And then looking at the 1-hour chart right here, you do see it kind of just stuck in limbo. Yeah, and this one, I think it's a slow grower. It is kind of sticking to that 7-day moving average. Similar nature, the stochastic RSI has reset itself. So you see a starting form, so the purple line above the teal. So you see it starting to build momentum, even as low as the 1 hour. So I feel like right now it might consolidate to potentially as low as the high 20s, but over the next 4 to 8 hours, like I mentioned, I feel like there is going to be another test and a push up, but we'll just have to wait and see. if it does have enough momentum to push above a lot of the resistance points, and a lot of the resistance points in the short term, as you can see with it at 21.17, it is between this pivot and the R1. So $20.18 is going to be the next strong support level. I do feel that it is going to stick to probably the high part of the 20, but $21.51 is going to be that next strong resistance. Above that is 22.33 and then 23.66. So once again, this is kind of looking at that 4-hour chart. So kind of what might be coming in the next 4 to 8 hours potentially. So I feel like right now in the short term, it is consolidating, but bigger picture, there is a lot of reasons for ETC to continue to go up. So let me know your thoughts on ETC. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing? Or potentially have you been buying a lot of the, I guess, more volatile cryptocurrencies such as Solana? I know that one's got a lot of potential right now, has gone up about 58.75% over the last 7 days. So this one is hitting a lot of the major headlines out there. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Oh, it's greatly appreciate that. There is a promo that I wanted to share with you, so take advantage of that. Sign up for an account with 𝗪𝗧, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So for $100 you get 5 stocks. Crazy deal, only up until December the 31st. Link in the description below and also the comments. But with all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.